Samma Sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Today, I found two discourses that will help us to practice these good things. So first one, it's in the numerical discourses of the Buddha. So you can see all in the paper. So first of all, I would like to ask, what are you fearful? Are there any fears in you? Nothing? Buddha said, 4 things that people should be afraid of. There are 4 things people should be afraid of. What are those 4? The afraid of self-accusing. The first one is afraid of self-accusing. And the second one is afraid of being accusing by others. Second one is being accusing by others, afraid of being accusing by others. And the third one is afraid of punishment. And the fourth one is afraid of being born in a bad destination. So there are 4 things that we should be afraid of. So after that, Buddha explained these 4 things. First one, the Buddha said, what is the afraid of self-accusing? That is, now we can think, we can consider ourselves now. If we do something bad with our bodily actions, or if we speak something bad, if we talk something bad, or if we think something bad, after that, won't our mind accuse ourselves? Do you understand what I'm trying to do? Okay. So sometimes we do that, we have done a bad thing, we have done something inappropriate one. So sometimes our mind accuses ourselves. So Buddha said, because of that afraid of self-accusing, if you're going to do something bad again, you can think, oh, if I do this one again, my mind will accuse me in the future. So because of that afraid of self-accusing, Buddha asked us to not to do those bad things, unwholesome things. So if we don't do anything bad, our mind will never accuse ourselves. Oh, you did bad thing, you did something wrong, you spoke something wrong, you thought something wrong. Like that, our mind will not accuse ourselves. So with the fear of self-accusing, we have to stop doing bad things, unwholesome things. So that's the first one Buddha explained. And the second one, if we do something bad, if we tell something bad, sometimes Others can see us. Others can observe us. Oh, that man, that woman did something wrong. He spoke something wrong. After that, they will accuse us. Oh, you are not a good person. Oh, you did something bad. So, Buddha said, with the fear of that, others accusing, stop doing bad things, unwholesome things, by your body, or by your speech, or by your thoughts. Don't do. And the third one is afraid of punishment. So if we think this way, if we kill someone, if we kill a human, sometimes the police will caught us and put us into the jail. So we will get punishment because of that bad karma, because of that unwholesome act we did. Or if we steal something, sometimes we get punished because of that stealing. Or if we misbehave in sexual pleasures, or if we lie to someone, or if we take alcohol or drugs sometimes, we will be punished by the police. So with the fear of that, with the afraid of that punishment, if you're going to do something bad, think that. You can think, oh, if I do this, I will be punished by the police or by others. So by considering that way, you can stop doing those unwholesome things. And the fourth one, Buddha said, the fear of being born in bad destinations. So according to our bad karma, Buddha taught, we can be reborn in the hell or in the animals world or in the ghost world. So if one will reborn in bad destination, it's not a good place to live. There are lots of suffering in those bad worlds. So with the fear of that, or I will be reborn in bad destination, with the fear of that, Buddha asked us to not to do bad things, unwholesome things. So that's one discourse. And I chose another discourse. It's in the middle length discourses of the Buddha. So in this discourse, Buddha teaches us how to control ourselves by doing inappropriate things, by doing unwholesome things, how we can control ourselves. So this discourse Buddha taught to the Rahula. Have you heard who is Rahula? So before the Buddha enlightened, he was the prince of the Kapilavatthu. It was a city in the ancient India. So his name was Prince Siddhartha. So Prince Siddhartha had a son. His name was Rahula. So after Siddhartha became the Buddha, I think after 1 year, the Rahula also became a monk, disciple of the Buddha. So he was 7 years old when he became a monk. So Buddha advised him, because he was so small at that time. This was the advice to the Rahula, small monk. Buddha said, Rahula, what is the purpose of a mirror? So the Rahula, small monk, he replied, for the purpose of reflection on ourselves. So if we go to the mirror and we see, are there any things I should remove or I should clean up? And if we see something, we clean it and we remove it. So that's the purpose why we go to the mirror. Like that way, the Buddha said, so too Rahula, an action with the body should be done after repeated reflection. An action by speech should be done after repeated reflection. An action by mind should be done after repeated reflection. So we have to consider about our action. There are 3 times. What are those? First one is, before we going to do something, we have to consider what I am going to do now. And while we are doing something, we have to consider what I am doing now. And after we done something, we have to consider what did I do. So Buddha advised to the Rahula one thing. Rahula, when you wish to do an action with the body, when you are going to do something with your body, you should consider about that bodily action like this. We should think like this. Would this action that I am going to do with the body lead to my own affliction, or to the affliction of others, or to the affliction of both? Is it an unwholesome bodily action with painful consequences, with painful results? So before we going to do something with our body, we have to consider like this. Is this a wholesome thing or unwholesome thing? Will this action lead to suffering, or to be in a good destination? And by considering like this, when you reflect, if you know this action that I wish to do with the body would lead to my own affliction, or to the affliction of others, or to the affliction of both, it is an unwholesome bodily action with painful consequences, with painful results, then you definitely should not do such an action with the body. So if you believe, oh, what I am going to do now is unwholesome, so if you know that, Buddha asked, definitely should not do such an action. Because if we do something like that, it definitely will bring suffering for us in the future. But when you reflect, if you know, if you believe, this action that I wish to do with the body would not lead to my own affliction, or to the affliction of others, or to the affliction of both, it is a wholesome bodily action with pleasant consequences, with pleasant results, then you may do such an action with the body. So, when you are considering before doing something by your body, if you know, if you believe that it's good for me, it's good for others, or it's good for both, then you should do it. As the same way, Buddha asks us to reflect, consider, when you are doing something, or what I am doing will lead to my own affliction, or to affliction of others, or affliction of both. What I am doing, is it wholesome or unwholesome? Will it bring a bad result in the future, or will it bring a good result in the future? So when you're considering like that, when you are doing something, if you believe, oh, this is bad, then Buddha said, stop doing that. From that moment, stop doing that. If you know, if you believe that this will bring me a good result, this is good for me, this is good for others, or this is good for both us, Buddha asked, you can continue doing that. You can continue that action. And also, Buddha asked Rahula, after you did something, after you do something, again you should consider like the same. What I did, will it lead to my own affliction? Will it lead to affliction of others? Will it lead to affliction of both of us? Will it bring a good result? Will it bring a bad result? So, if you believe it is wrong, you have done something bad thing, unwholesome thing, Buddha asked, this is how we should do. Then you should confess such a bodily action, reveal it, and lay it open to the teacher or to your wise companions in the holy life. So we have to confess that to a teacher or wise person. We should get advice. Bhante, or you can ask, Bhante, I have done something like this. I want to stop doing this. How can I do that? What do I practice like that way? But if you believe that the thing you've done, it's good, it's a wholesome act, Buddha asked, Rahul, you can be happy and glad, training day and night in wholesome states. You can practice like saying like things, same things. So that's how we can control our bodily actions by doing unwholesome things. This is how we can practice wholesome things by our body. So like the same way, Buddha asked, when we are going to speak something, tell something, do the same. Before you are going to speak something, and while you are speaking something, and after you spoke something, we should consider like the same way. If we have done something wrong, if we have told something, if we have said something wrong, we have to confess that to a wise person, to a teacher, and get some advices from him. And also Buddha asked Rahula to practice. Rahula, when you're going to think something, you should also consider like this. What I'm going to think, is it wholesome or unwholesome? Will it bring a good result or will it bring a bad result in the future? So if you know, if you believe this is wrong, then Buddha asked, don't think. Don't continue that. If you have thought something bad, Buddha asked, then you should rebel, humiliated and disgusted by that mental action. Having become repelled, humiliated and disgusted by that action, having confessed it, revealed it and laid it open, you should undertake restraint for the future. So you have to accuse your mind. You have to blame your mind. Oh, you have done something bad. You thought something bad. You have to blame your mind, yourself. And this is the way that we can control our bodily actions, verbal actions, and actions from our mind. So that's the way used in the past, that's the way we can use now, and that's the way we can use in the future to control our bodily and verbal and mindly actions. Not to do bad things and to do good, wholesome things. That's the way we should do, we should practice. So now you can consider, what are we going to do now? We are going to practice meditation. So will it lead to suffering or happiness? It will lead to happiness. Is it a wholesome one or unwholesome thing? Unwholesome bodily action or wholesome bodily action? It is a wholesome bodily action. So then what should we do now? If we believe this is wholesome, this will lead to our happiness in the future, then we should do that. So like that way, before we do something, before we going to say something, before we going to think something, we should consider. And while we are doing something, while we are saying something, while we are thinking something, we should consider like the same way. And after we do something, after we say something, after we think something, we should consider like the same way. So that's the two discourses